Hello, everyone. My name is Angel, and this is Have Faith. Let it begin. I hope you enjoyed the introduction performed by GABBIE Santana. It is called Tested. We thank you very much for the usage of your song, and each and every time I listen to that intro, I get fired up to hear what the daily message is going to be. So I encourage everyone out there to visit GABBIE Santana. That's exactly how you go to her YouTube channel and take a look at many other forms of music and videos that she has provided for all of her fans. We thank you again, GABBIE, for your beautiful voice and your encouragement and your support for this show. Wow, I woke up this morning and the first thing I said was, thank God. What a day. It's beautiful out. I walked my dog and I just kept saying, thank God. And then it occurred to me, thank God. So I did. So let me just think about this for 1 second with all of you. When was the last time you thanked God? Was it when you got to work on time? Was it when you woke up and thanked God for another great day? Was it the time your favorite sports team won a game? Was it at the beginning or at the end of a prayer? Remember that you can praise the Lord and give thanks to the Lord, for He's good. His steadfast love endures forever. And I was thinking about that over and over again as I'm, walking the dog, and I say, I can remember the first time I thanked God. When I was 12 years old, I had a constant pain in my legs and in my back. So my parents took me to the doctors. And after testing and after tests and graphs, and the doctors diagnosed me with scoliosis. For those of you who don't know, scoliosis is the curvature of the spinal cord. Now the good news is that at the time that I was diagnosed, and they had discovered it early. The bad news was that I was 12 years old and still growing. The doctors told my parents that as I would continue to grow, they would need to keep me monitoring. They would keep monitoring my spinal cord so that it wouldn't grow crooked. See, if your spinal cord is starting to grow a little bit crooked, as you grow, it's going to grow in one direction. So if it's already designed or it's starting to look like it's going in one way, chances are it's going to continue to grow that way. So they had to keep an eye on my growth. I remember saying, I wish I was older. That way I would stop growing. And the next couple of years, I think I was the only boy wishing and hoping I would stop growing. As I continued to grow, my spinal cord began to grow in the wrong direction. My posture began to suffer, and I encountered more back pains, so the doctors fitted me for a back brace. Unfortunately, due to my immaturity and lack of confidence in myself, I chose not to wear it 23 hours a day, which was what prescribed to do. Matter of fact, I got to the point where I didn't wear it at all, which didn't help my prognosis. The doctors tried everything to avoid me from having surgery. By the time I reached my senior year of high school, I was advised that my spinal cord was so bad, the doctors advised my parents that if I didn't have the surgery, the likelihood of being paralyzed or going through a very painful life was inevitable in the near future. So on Friday, September 13th, 1996, I would undergo back surgery, having 2 surgical procedures, one to remove a rib and the other to surgically implant 2 metal rods into my spine. I remember watching my parents pray for me. The first 5 days was very hard on my parents. As the surgery went well, my recuperation was painful. My mother never left my side. On one of the very first days of recuperation, the pain was so intense, I maximized my pain medication. It was just then I recall having a pastor walk into my room and ask to pray with me. He asked me if I knew who God was, and if I believed in Him, and if I had faith in Him. He prayed for me. He read me the Lord's Prayer. I had faith then, but it wasn't as strong as it is today. I will tell you that after that prayer, I was at peace. I remember the 10th day the doctors came in and advised me that it was time to stand up and take steps to see how my progress was going. All I kept thinking about was, did God fix me? Did He answer my prayers? When I stood up, a couple things went through my mind. First thing that was very obvious, I noticed I was taller. I had gained 1.5 inches in height. The doctors said that my spinal cord was corrected. And by moving it in the right direction, I had gained that 1.5 inches in height. I remember crying as I took my first steps. And then I uttered the words, "Thank God." I've said this before, and I'll say it a lot. If you can believe, all things are possible to him who believe. Remember, each and every day that you wake up, be grateful for what you have. Be grateful for the memories. Be grateful for the days ahead. And be grateful for what God has placed in your hands. Now, it doesn't always go the way you planned. But mark my words, God has a plan for all of you. He did for me. And I'm happy to report that at 40 years of age, I have no back issues, no back problems. But as you heard earlier, things happen in previous episode. There's an episode called Things Happen. And ironically, when I had my surgery back in September 13th, that's a Friday, the 13th, 1996. Here now, July 13th, Friday the 13th, 2018, they'll be removing a tumor from my back. So, do I thank God? I do. Do I thank God? Always. Do I believe and have the faith that God will heal me? I do. Because this is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. Have faith. Let it begin.